Iran. What ancient secrets does this land hold within the tapestry of biblical prophecy? Once a beacon of liberation, now a shadow in end times visions. How does Iran's spiritual paradox unfold? In an era fraught with uncertainty, could we be witnessing these age-old prophecies manifest before our very eyes? Imagine standing on the precipice of destiny, where echoes of the past whisper into the heart of today. Stay with us. What follows may unveil truths hidden in plain sight. In the heart of this ancient land, where Persia once thrived, lies a spiritual enigma echoing through the corridors of time. Iran's prophetic story is woven into the very fabric of biblical history, a nation once known for liberating the Jewish people, now seemingly entwined in the shadows of end times prophecy. How does this duality speak to us today, in a world teetering on the edge of profound transformation? This tension beckons us to delve deeper, not merely as spectators of history, but as seekers of divine wisdom. What spiritual truths are hidden within Iran's paradoxical role in prophecy? As we journey together, let us open our hearts to the mysteries that await, trusting that the unfolding narrative will illuminate our path. The path now opens. Let us begin this sacred journey. In the unfolding narrative of God's grand design, Persia's story begins deep within the pages of Genesis. As descendants of Noah's son Japheth, the Persian people trace their origins to the ancient tribes that spread across the earth following the Great Flood. This lineage meanders through the corridors of time, intersecting with the divine plan as chronicled in the books of Daniel, Esther, and Ezra. It is here that we witness Persia's emergence as a pivotal player in the restoration of Israel, a divine instrument wielded by God to fulfill the prophecies of the return from Babylonian exile. Persia's role, however, is complex and multifaceted. As liberators under King Cyrus, they were chosen to decree the rebuilding of Jerusalem and the Temple, a beacon of hope in the darkness of captivity. Yet, this same nation is prophesied to stand as an adversary in the end times, a part of the coalition described in Ezekiel's vision of the war of Gog and Magog. This duality captures the essence of Persia's spiritual journey, a nation simultaneously chosen and challenged, a mirror reflecting the divine interplay of justice and mercy. Understanding Persia's story requires us to delve into the rich tapestry of its historical and spiritual heritage. As a cultural bridge between East and West, Persia's influence is woven into the fabric of biblical history, where kings and prophets alike navigated the tides of empire and faith. This backdrop provides a profound context for the prophetic drama that continues to unfold, urging us to consider the spiritual significance of current events. As we turn our gaze to the present, we prepare to explore the prophetic threads that connect Persia's ancient past to its foretold future, illuminating the divine purpose that continues to guide its path. In the quiet dawn of time's beginning, we find ourselves tracing the lineage of nations back to the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Among their descendants, a rich tapestry of peoples emerged, weaving the intricate fabric of humanity. From this lineage, the seeds of Persia were sown, a nation destined to rise with its fate etched in the divine manuscripts of prophecy. As we journey through these ancient roots, we stand at the crossroads of history and prophecy, where the past whispers its secrets to the present. Persia, known today as Iran, was born from the line of Japheth through his son Madai. Here begins the story of a people, a narrative intertwined with the fate of Israel and the unfolding of God's grand design. The book of Genesis recounts these early days, where the descendants of Noah spread across the earth, each carrying the potential for greatness and the weight of prophecy. Persia's beginnings were humble, yet the divine hand was at work, shaping a nation that would play a pivotal role in the biblical narrative. The ancient prophets, with visions granted by the Almighty, foresaw Persia's rise to power. Isaiah and Jeremiah spoke of a time when Persia would serve as a tool of restoration, a beacon of hope for the exiled Israelites. Under the rule of Cyrus the Great, the Persian Empire indeed became a divine instrument, facilitating the return of the Jewish people to their homeland and the rebuilding of the Temple in Jerusalem. This moment in history stands as a testament to the intricate and purposeful orchestration of God's plan, where Persia was not merely a nation, but a vessel of divine will. Yet, as the sands of time shifted, so did Persia's role in the prophetic narrative. The book of Ezekiel reveals a future where Persia, allied with other nations, will rise against Israel in the climactic battle of Gog and Magog. This prophecy, shrouded in mystery and anticipation, speaks of a time when the forces of darkness will gather, only to be met by the unyielding light of divine judgment. The echoes of this prophecy reverberate through the corridors of time, urging us to watch and prepare as the stage is set for its fulfillment. As we stand on the brink of these unfolding events, let us reflect on the intricate dance of nations and prophecy. Persia's journey from a divine instrument to a prophesied adversary serves as a powerful reminder of the ever-unfolding story written by the hand of God. With hearts attuned to the whispers of the past and eyes fixed on the horizon, we move forward, ready to explore the next chapter of this sacred narrative. In the rich tapestry of biblical history, the rise of Persia under King Cyrus the Great stands as a pivotal moment in the divine narrative. As the Israelites endured their exile in Babylon, their spirits burdened by displacement, a prophecy emerged through Isaiah's words. He spoke of a shepherd, an anointed one, who would arise from an unexpected place to free God's chosen people. This shepherd was Cyrus, a pagan king, yet chosen by God to fulfill his purpose. Isaiah 45:1 Note 4 describes Cyrus as the Lord's anointed, a vessel through whom the Almighty would subdue nations and open doors that no one could close. Cyrus's decree to free the Jewish exiles and commission the rebuilding of the Temple in Jerusalem was more than a political move. It was a divine orchestration. It marked a moment where the celestial and earthly realms converged, echoing Jeremiah's prophecy of the exile's return after 70 years. In this act, Cyrus unknowingly became a beacon of hope, a symbol of divine intervention, lighting the way back to the promised land. The edict, recorded in the opening verses of the book of Ezra, stands as a testament to God's sovereignty, who guides the hearts of kings as effortlessly as streams of water. Yet, Persia's role in this biblical tapestry does not conclude with Cyrus. As the Jewish people began their journey home, the spiritual significance of their return was profound. It reminded them of God's faithfulness and the fulfillment of His promises. The temple's reconstruction symbolized not only the physical restoration of a nation, but also the spiritual renewal of a covenant people. Each stone laid in its foundation whispered of redemption and the unwavering love of a Creator who never abandons His own. Reflecting on Persia's role in this divine drama reminds us of the intricate ways God weaves the destinies of nations and individuals into His grand design. The liberation of the Jewish exiles through a foreign king powerfully illustrates how God can use anyone, regardless of their beliefs or background, to accomplish His will. It challenges us to look beyond the surface and recognize the hidden hand of God at work in the world around us. In the unfolding of these ancient prophecies, we find ourselves drawn into a deeper understanding of God's plan, a plan that continues to unravel in the present age. As we prepare to explore the next chapter of this sacred narrative, let us carry with us the knowledge that history is not a series of random events, but a carefully crafted story written by the divine author. As we journey deeper into the prophetic tapestry of Daniel's visions, we encounter a revelation that transcends the mere rise and fall of earthly empires. Daniel, a man of unwavering faith and divine insight, was granted a glimpse into the unfolding of history, a vision that included the rise of Persia and its subsequent fall. In Daniel 8, the prophet describes a ram with 2 horns, representing the kings of Media and Persia, charging westward, northward, and southward, expanding its dominion with great force. Yet, this mighty ram would not stand forever, for a goat with a prominent horn, symbolizing Greece under Alexander the Great, would arise to shatter its power. This vision is not only a historical account, but a profound reminder of God's sovereignty over the nations. The rise of Persia, as foretold by Daniel, was not merely an accident of history, but a deliberate act within God's divine timeline. Each empire, each ruler, serves a purpose in the grand narrative orchestrated by the Creator. The fall of Persia, as swift as its ascent, underscores the transient nature of human power when measured against the eternal dominion of God. It is a testament to the truth that no kingdom, regardless of its might, can withstand the decrees of the Almighty. As we reflect on this prophetic imagery, we are drawn into a deeper understanding of the spiritual dynamics at play. The rise and fall of empires serve as a backdrop to the unfolding story of redemption, a story in which God uses even the most unlikely of instruments to fulfill His purposes. Persia, once a beacon of liberation for the Jewish exiles, becomes a symbol of the shifting sands of power, reminding us that God's plans are not confined to human expectations. The prophetic words of Daniel echo through the corridors of time, challenging us to discern the divine hand at work in the rise and fall of nations today. In the midst of these ancient prophecies, we find a call to spiritual vigilance. As Persia's role in biblical history transitions from a liberator to an adversary in the end times, we are reminded of the dual nature of prophecy, a foretelling of both hope and judgment. The narrative of Persia is a mirror reflecting the complexities of God's dealings with humanity, urging us to remain steadfast in our faith and attuned to the signs of the times. As we prepare to delve further into the prophetic significance of Persia's future role, let us hold fast to the truth that God's sovereignty endures beyond the rise and fall of empires. In the divine narrative, every chapter is a step closer to the ultimate fulfillment of His promises. With hearts open to the unfolding mysteries, we step forward, ready to uncover the next layer of this sacred story. As we turn our gaze to the story of Esther, we uncover a profound narrative woven into the fabric of Persia's history, a narrative that speaks of divine intervention and the preservation of God's chosen people. In the heart of the Persian Empire, amidst the opulence of King Xerxes' court, a Jewish orphan named Esther rises to a position of unimaginable influence. Her ascent to the throne as queen is not a mere twist of fate, but a testament to God's providence, orchestrating events beyond the understanding of those who dwell within the palace walls. The Book of Esther, though absent of direct mention of God's name, is saturated with His presence. It is a tale of hidden miracles, where the unseen hand of the divine maneuvers the hearts of kings and the destinies of nations. When Haman, the king's advisor, plots to annihilate the Jewish people, It is Esther's courage and faith that turn the tide. Her bold approach to King Xerxes, risking her life to plead for her people, echoes the timeless truth that God often uses the most unexpected vessels to carry out his will. In this dramatic unfolding, we witness the spiritual tension between human schemes and divine purpose. Haman's plot, born out of malice and pride, is ultimately thwarted by the very gallows he constructs for Mordecai, Esther's cousin and guardian. This reversal of fortune is not merely poetic justice. It is a manifestation of God's justice, a reminder that his plans cannot be thwarted by the machinations of men. The preservation of the Jewish people through Esther's intervention is a beacon of hope and a testament to God's unwavering faithfulness to his covenant. As we reflect on Esther's story, we are invited to see Persia not just as an empire of power and conquest, but as a stage upon which God's redemptive drama unfolds. It is a reminder that even in the corridors of foreign palaces, God's purposes are being fulfilled, often through the quiet acts of faith and courage of those who dare to stand for righteousness. The legacy of Esther is a call to recognize the divine orchestration in our own lives, to trust that God is at work even when his presence seems hidden. As we continue our exploration of Persia's prophetic significance, let us carry forward the lessons of Esther's story, lessons of faith, courage, and divine intervention. In the tapestry of prophecy, each thread weaves a picture of a God who is intimately involved in the affairs of nations and individuals alike. With hearts attuned to his whispers, we move forward, eager to uncover the next chapter in this sacred narrative. In the quiet stillness of a Bethlehem night, a celestial sign appeared in the heavens, capturing the gaze of wise men from the east. These magi, scholars, and seekers of truth from Persia embarked on a journey that would forever intertwine their legacy with the birth of a savior. Guided by a star, their path was not just a physical journey across deserts and mountains, but a spiritual pilgrimage towards the fulfillment of ancient prophecies. Their arrival at the humble manger was a testament to Persia's historical reverence for divine revelation, recognizing the Messiah foretold by prophets long before. The Magi's presence at the nativity scene is a profound echo of Persia's storied past with prophecy. Daniel, a Jewish captive in Babylon, had risen to prominence in the courts of Persia, interpreting dreams and visions that spoke of kingdoms and the coming of an anointed one. The Magi, likely influenced by the teachings and prophecies preserved from Daniel's time, understood the significance of the star they followed. Their gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh were not only offerings of honor, but symbols rich with prophetic meaning. Gold for kingship, frankincense for divinity, and myrrh foreshadowing the suffering to come. As the Magi knelt before the child, an infant wrapped in swaddling clothes, the spiritual tension of their journey culminated in a moment of profound revelation. Here, in a stable far from the grandeur of Persian palaces, they beheld the convergence of heaven and earth, the fulfillment of prophecies whispered through the ages. Their homage was more than an act of worship. It was an acknowledgement that the hopes and dreams of nations rested in this newborn king. In this sacred encounter, the wisdom of the East met the promise of the West, and the divine plan unfolded with quiet majesty. The narrative of the Magi invites us to see beyond the immediate and into the eternal. It calls us to recognize the divine orchestration at play, where even the stars align to herald the arrival of God's chosen. In the footsteps of these wise men, we are reminded of the importance of seeking truth and being open to the unexpected ways in which God reveals himself. Their journey, marked by faith and perseverance, encourages us to look for the signs of God's presence in our own lives, trusting that He guides us towards His purposes. As we reflect on the Magi's journey, we are drawn deeper into the tapestry of prophecy, where each thread weaves a story of divine intention and fulfillment. With hearts attuned to the whispers of the Spirit, let us continue our exploration, eager to uncover the next chapter in this sacred narrative. As we journey deeper into the prophetic tapestry, we encounter the mysterious prophecy of Gog and Magog, a vision that speaks of a time when Persia, now known as Iran, will align with a formidable coalition against Israel. This prophecy, found in the book of Ezekiel, unveils a dramatic narrative where ancient alliances and enmities resurface, casting a shadow over lands once blessed by divine intervention. The stage is set for a confrontation that transcends mere geopolitical strife, reaching into the realms of spiritual warfare and divine sovereignty. Ezekiel's vision is vivid and unsettling, depicting a vast army gathering from the far corners of the earth, united in purpose against the land of God's chosen people. Persia, once a beacon of enlightenment and a sanctuary for exiled Jews, now stands as a key player in this apocalyptic scenario. The irony is palpable. The same nation that facilitated the rebuilding of the temple under Cyrus the Great now finds itself on the opposing side of divine favor. This shift from ally to adversary underscores the fluid nature of prophecy, where nations rise and fall according to the divine script. The prophecy of Gog and Magog is not merely a tale of impending doom, but a revelation of God's ultimate authority over the affairs of nations. As the coalition advances, it is met not by the might of human armies, but by the hand of God Himself. Divine judgment descends like a storm, a powerful reminder that no earthly power can thwart the plans of the Almighty. This moment of reckoning serves as a testament to God's unwavering commitment to His covenant with Israel, a promise that endures through the ages. In the unfolding of these events, we are invited to witness the profound interplay between divine justice and mercy. The prophecy challenges us to reflect on the ways in which God uses the rise and fall of empires to fulfill His purposes. It calls us to examine our own hearts, to consider where we stand in the grand narrative of redemption. As Persia's role shifts from a historical benefactor to a prophetic antagonist, we are reminded of the ever-present tension between human free will and divine orchestration. As we contemplate the weight of these prophecies, let us hold fast to the assurance that God's plans are perfect and His promises are sure. In the face of uncertainty, we are called to trust in His wisdom and to prepare our hearts for the fulfillment of His word. With each revelation, we draw closer to the heart of the divine mystery, eager to uncover what lies beyond the horizon of time. As we turn the pages of prophecy, our gaze shifts to the ancient land of Elam, nestled within the heart of what we now call Persia. The scriptures speak of Elam with a voice both haunting and hopeful, a region marked by divine judgment, yet not forsaken by God's grace. In the book of Jeremiah, we find a prophecy that casts Elam in a dual light, first as a recipient of God's wrath, and then as a land destined for restoration. This duality invites us to ponder the mysterious ways in which redemption can emerge from the ashes of divine retribution. Jeremiah 49:34-39 paints a vivid picture of Elam's fate. The prophecy begins with a declaration of destruction, a scattering of its people to the winds. Yet, nestled within these verses is a promise of renewal. In the latter days, I will restore the fortunes of Elam, declares the Lord. Here, amidst the foreboding imagery of desolation, we find a glimmer of hope, a testament to God's enduring mercy and his unwavering commitment to the restoration of his creation. This promise suggests that even in the midst of judgment, God's plan for reconciliation remains steadfast. The narrative of Elam's redemption serves as a powerful reminder of the transformative power of divine grace. It echoes the broader biblical theme that no nation, no matter how far it has strayed, is beyond the reach of God's redemptive hand. This prophecy challenges us to look beyond the immediate circumstances, to see the potential for renewal that lies within even the most dire situations. It calls us to trust in the divine promise that every valley of despair can be transformed into a mountain of hope. As we reflect on the prophecy of Elam, we are drawn into a deeper understanding of God's nature. A God who is both just and merciful, who disciplines yet desires restoration. In this unfolding narrative, we see a reflection of our own spiritual journeys, where moments of brokenness can become opportunities for profound healing and renewal. The story of Elam encourages us to hold on to hope, to believe in the possibility of redemption even when the path seems shrouded in darkness. In contemplating the potential redemption of Persia, we are reminded that the story of prophecy is not merely one of judgment, but of ultimate reconciliation. As we move forward, let us carry with us the assurance that God's promises are not confined to the past, but are alive and active in our present and future. With hearts open to the unfolding of His divine plan, we stand on the precipice of a new dawn, eager to witness the fulfillment of His word. Pause with me for a moment in the stillness of your spirit. Picture the vast expanse of time, a grand tapestry woven by the hands of the divine, where threads of history and prophecy intertwine. You are a thread in this magnificent design. Can you feel the gentle pull of destiny, urging you to rise beyond the ordinary, to see beyond the veil of the present into the unfolding narrative of eternity? In the quiet chambers of your heart, reflect on the journey of Persia, a beacon of hope turned adversary, a reminder that even nations can lose their way. What about your own journey? When the winds of change blow, will your heart be anchored in divine purpose, or will it drift with the shifting sands of the world? The call is clear: to stand firm, to be a vessel of light in a world shadowed by uncertainty. Close your eyes and envision the Magi, seekers of truth, following a star to the most unexpected of places. Do you have the courage to follow where God leads, even when the path seems uncertain? Can you trust in His unseen hand, crafting justice and redemption from the chaos of human schemes? As the tides of prophecy continue to turn, feel the weight of this moment. The ashes of judgment hold the promise of renewal, but only for those who trust in the eternal. Will you awaken to the divine orchestration at play and align your heart with the everlasting kingdom? In this sacred pause, let the questions linger, a whisper of urgency that stirs your soul to readiness. The ancient whispers of prophecy converge upon us with a clarity that cannot be ignored. As we stand at this pivotal moment in history, the script of the divine unfolds with Iran at its center, a nation once a beacon of divine favor, now prophesied as an adversary in the end times. In this dramatic narrative, we see the hand of God moving the pieces on the chessboard of history, setting the stage for a grand revelation. The echoes of Ezekiel ring through the ages, painting a vivid image of a coalition led by Gog, with Persia by its side, poised against the people of God. Yet here lies the divine paradox. The very forces that rise against Israel are destined to encounter the unyielding justice of the Almighty. What is at stake is not merely geopolitical, it is the eternal struggle between light and darkness, a spiritual battleground that demands our attention and our allegiance. In this prophetic drama, the stakes are not confined to nations alone, but extend to every soul who bears witness to these unfolding events. We are called to discern the times, to awaken from spiritual slumber, and to align our hearts with the purposes of God. This is a moment of profound spiritual significance, where the choices we make reverberate in the courts of heaven. Will we stand as vessels of righteousness, or will we be swept away by the tides of deception and fear? Feel the urgency of this hour as the tapestry of prophecy weaves its final threads. This is no ordinary time. This is the crescendo of divine orchestration, a call to awaken to the reality of God's kingdom breaking into our world. Let the gravity of this moment settle upon your spirit, a whisper of eternity that beckons you to stand firm, to be vigilant, and to embrace the truth with unwavering faith. The path ahead may be shrouded in uncertainty, but the promise is sure. Those who trust in the Lord will see His salvation. As the narrative of destiny unfolds, let your heart be a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring power of faith. As we close this chapter of our exploration into biblical prophecy, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on the profound truths we've uncovered. Share your thoughts and insights in the comments below. Your voice enriches this community of seekers and believers. If this journey resonates with your spirit, consider subscribing to walk with us as we delve deeper into the mysteries and revelations that shape our spiritual landscape. Let us remain vigilant and spiritually alert, attuned to the unfolding of divine plans in our world. More insights and revelations await, and together we will navigate these prophetic waters with discernment and faith. Your presence here is a testament to your commitment to understanding God's purpose in these pivotal times. In the quiet of your heart, may you feel the sacred invitation to stand firm in faith and hope. The path is illuminated by the promise of God's unwavering love and salvation for those who trust in Him. Until we meet again, may your journey be blessed with clarity and peace as the echoes of eternity guide your steps.